Alright, we're back as we're heading into a roundabout here. That was probably about a 5-second pause in between clips there, maybe, or 3 seconds, I don't know. Well, because it is Wednesday, plan is to go to church tonight. I don't know, man. I just like each time I go to church too, I get fueled up. It makes me feel good and strong and stuff. But because my life is tough at the moment, that charged up good feeling I have an hour later could be fizzled out, and I could be just feeling rotten, sad, wallowing in my own pity. Oh my goodness. So, anybody out there that's going through different struggles, you're not alone, and I know so many people out there are in much tougher situations than me. I know mine's wearing on me. I can only imagine you're going through in life, and hopefully life is really good for you. Hopefully you're really happy and peaceful and just enjoying life. One thing about these videos, if they turn out good, I've had some really nice comments about what I'm doing, and good thing is, even when I'm long gone, hopefully these videos will still be out there for somebody. I haven't ran into no major critics yet, but I'm sure that could happen ahead. Even though I like who I am and I know I'm a good man, I try to be the best I can be to everybody. People that I disagree with, and I try to do what's right even when it's hard. Actually, most of the time I do what's right even when it's hard. I can't think of examples right now when I haven't or when I have, or whatever. But I've got a good moral compass, but as good as I could try to be, heck, I can look at Jesus and think about how amazing he was, and yet people treated him that were against him or didn't like him, or it's just sad to think that people could even treat Jesus the way they treated him. My goodness. It's a good thing I'm on the road though. Getting back to Minnesota. I got happening, and I've been feeling wrong through the whole deal. I know I was wrong, all these things that I was so wrong with, it's like I just had all these tons and tons of different wrong things all come at me at once. Now, my mom passed away wasn't a wrong thing. That's just part of life. I mean, me and my mom talked about that stuff a lot, about when she goes and stuff. It's still very hard going through that, but that's part of life, and there's no changing that. But now the actions of family and people around and how they handled the situation, I did not deserve none of those wrongs. Not a one. And I know the Lord's seen it all and watched it, and He told me straight out when I was working at the foundry. And I keep holding on to that too. He told me that to just keep doing what I'm doing. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward. And not to worry, it's all going to work out this time. He said there'd be some more bumps in the road, but just keep going, it's going to be fine. And He told me that all the people that have done me wrong or are doing me wrong, they will repent or they will experience Him. And He also told me to protect what was most important to me, and I'm still searching that one, I thought it was my friend, who I worry about a lot. I really did. I really felt it was her, but as much as she is super important to me, and I love her with all that I am, God's much more important, and I'm starting to feel like that's what's most important to me, of course, and it is what's most important to me, is God, He's first, I'm second. Anything else is figured out after that, That's not the conceited way either. And I have seen Him doing works, and I've already seen people that sad. I've talked to God about it, I don't wish ill will on people, even though they might have been rotten to me. I don't feel like getting even with them or nothing like that. It hurts my feelings. Even my brother, when he was just being so nasty with stuff. One of the last things I said to my brother that I can remember is I remember looking at him and telling him, saying, "Jerry, I love you. But I will not be a prisoner in your world. I cannot be around you anymore. And I wish you well, whatever. I hope you get better and change and become a better person." I don't know if I'm saying it exactly right, but pretty close to that. One of the last things I said to him before I couldn't be around him anymore. I want him to know, even though I know he's just not good. I want him to know it. I still love you, but I just can't be around you. It's too dark. But I don't know. Getting sidetracked here. My mind is going through all this stuff, and I'm just talking about my past, my recent 3-year past, and all the stuff I've been through. I might have talked about it on other videos. I know I have. Some people will see this video that didn't see the other video or something. I don't know. And it's still me getting camera time and getting used to being in front of the camera. And I guess part of it too is, I'm kind of living in a trauma. So it makes sense for me to repeat some of these things sometimes when I'm feeling them and venting them, getting them out of me. I'm just trying to stay healthy, stay positive to the best of my ability, and keep being a positive impact on the world. Man, oh man, Lord, I am ready for the good stuff, so I can have peace and keep really helping people. Right now, I still help people, but I how to share God through this channel at the moment. Just being real, talking to this camera like I'm talking to, which actually, this camera that I'm talking to is I'm talking to you. You know, and I thank you for watching and listening to me and sharing time with me, even though it's digitally. You're digitally getting to know me. And some of you, I hope that somewhere in the future, if you've been following me, I hope I get to meet you someday. Weird when with all the stuff that's happened, you know. Kind of weird. I talked about in the other videos too, about some of the other videos, about how I was looking into RV and van life so much and preparing to try it. But by me preparing to try that, because I've camped as a kid and stuff, is part of why when all this bad stuff happened that I'm able to survive, even though it's really tough. If I didn't start buying solar panels and batteries and chargers and all the stuff that I have that I installed in this camera, oh my goodness gracious, my life would really be so much worse, you know. So when I look back at it, I almost feel like it's one of those things where you can look back and see where God had his hands working in your life. You know, thank goodness he had me researching all this stuff and buying a diesel heater for staying warm in the winter if I was going to do van life or RV life. Buying solar panels and batteries and stuff so I could create power and be able to keep charging laptops and tablets and stuff, you know. And it's just thank you, Lord. Thank you for all the good stuff. Thank you for the tough stuff too, since you know it's all make me learn, you know. But I think I've done plenty of good learning right now. So can I learn some fun stuff now? I'd appreciate that. Woo. Start crying good there. Luckily I stopped it before I had to reach for a rag to dry out my eyes. The sun feels good on my face. It's been so gloomy. That's probably another thing that's been, you know, with all this other stuff I've had going on, it's been so gloomy, and we've had so much like snow and gloom and hardly any sun. So the little gas I have and stuff, I've had to start the engine a lot more to keep my batteries with enough energy in them to keep the diesel furnace running, you know. And it's working, you know, but it's like I'm always living on that thread. So I've been living on a thread for 8 months. I'm gonna get some finger counting here because I'm driving.